Okay, so it is now December 14th. It has been super cold out, but it's warmed up. And I just want to show you guys what is still growing in the garden. Now, if you haven't seen my video about where the deer actually tore down this fencing, check that one out. It's pretty depressing. Anyways, you can kind of tell this asparagus, obviously, is done for. So that's not growing. But check this out. Even after nice frost, we've had some very cold temperatures as low as 17 degrees Fahrenheit. And look at this. These were Brussels sprouts. They were destroyed. However, they're still alive, so maybe there's some hope that they'll actually survive until the spring and then just kind of maybe put on a very, very late crop or very, very early, depending how you look at it. Over here, this is actually new. Check out this fresh deer tracks and everything. So I'm not sure what they're after because there's nothing growing over here. A couple green onions right here that I guess I missed harvesting. So those are trying to grow now. But moving on with the tour, now check this out, guys. Now this is what I'm trying to show you. Here's what's important. Now right down here, check out these beautiful dark purple hearts. Now these are actually chicory, or you might call them radicchio hearts, wherever you're part of the world you're from. But I mean, you can tell even this one kind of got pulled out of the ground. So at the back, this ground's pretty much frozen. It's pretty cold, but stuff is still growing. So yeah, a nice late season crop you can harvest is this chicory. And it's still trying to make little hearts out of it. Now this was eaten completely to the ground by the deer. Again, check out that video if you want to see how bad it was when they first broke through the fences. But just taking a look right here, you can just get a pano shot right here. This is all different varieties of kale or brassicas. So this is just a nice curly kale. These are some collard greens, I believe, and they are, yes, full of holes. But at this time of year, what are you gonna do? There's no natural predators out here for, you know, these caterpillars like wasps and things like that. Down here, this is in fact some arugula. I don't know the variety, but it is still very much edible, very fresh. It's actually trying to flower a little bit, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. But chicory, arugula, kale, all these things, their flowers are also edible too. So don't forget that. You can eat the flowers on these things. So if food source is running short, you need some greens in your diet. These dino kale or lacinato kale, these things are very, very cold hardy. Now here, I never grown this before. This is actually broccoli rabe. Check it out. So it's making these little tiny miniature little broccoli heads. Taste just like broccoli. It is still alive and kicking. More heads in there. So it's kind of trying to go a little bit past prime like that, but it's fine. This is just a cabbage that I planted that never really developed a head, but it is still very much alive and all the leaves are very much edible. Okay, so this giant right here, you may well know as artichokes. Now I am now in zone 7A officially because they just reclassified, you know, I've always said 6B, 7A. I'm now in 7A only, according to the USDA growing maps. But you know, artichokes are technically not supposed to survive here. We tried several times. They've never actually overwintered, but I think I might have figured it out this year. These are in some nice, good soil and raised beds. And you know, there's tons and tons of leaf mulch around the crowns of these. So I'm not sure how or why, but this variety is not the standard green globe. This is actually an Italian heirloom. I forget the name right now, but maybe that's just a bit more cold hardy. So I might have found a winner. Now we're here again, and the deer were actually standing in this bed. You can't really tell now. I've kind of covered it up with leaves, remulched it up, but these are actually turnip greens. Okay, so wonderful turnip greens. Yes, they have some holes in them, probably for some flea beetles or something like that. That still may be alive, but mustard greens, turnip greens, absolutely amazing. I don't know if they're actually making any kind of, yeah, actually right now you can see it's actually a white Japanese turnip. Yeah, there you go, see that? The base right there? Yeah, that's actually a Japanese turnip. So I may harvest that, I may not, who knows? And more of this radicchio or chicory right here growing. And this little stuff over there is endive. So the deer did not actually eat the endive because it's very bitter. A lot of humans don't even like endive, but I guess I sort of do, so let it grow. This asparagus has gone to sleep. I actually need to dig this up and transplant it now. It kind of started growing there from a seed or something, and I just never got around to moving it, so it's definitely in the wrong spot. Now, what I do want to show you over here, the last part of this video, I'm making tons of noise, which I apologize. Now, this entire bed here, these are sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes. Now I'm going to harvest them very soon, make a nice video about that only. But yeah, this bed, you can tell, like right here especially, there's a deer track where they were just stepping inside of this. But look at that, this ground's basically frozen solid, and things are still, you know, maybe not growing on top of the soil, but you can see right here, here's one of those chokes that are actually sticking out of the ground that was kind of unearthed by the deer, and some little ones right here that's probably been eaten by birds or mice or something. But this is kind of what they look like, but hopefully there's a much bigger tubers underneath the soil. But there you go. It's you know, it's December 14th. Nothing really should be growing, but it is definitely possible. Now, if you had deer fencing that worked, like mine did not, because this giant deer kind of got stuck in the fence and ripped it all to shreds. It was, wish I could have seen it on deer camera or something. But anyways, moving along. Now, this is not what you want to see growing in December. These are actually garlics that I planted. I planted them at the appropriate time. We just had so much warm weather, guys. This winter has been non-existent so far, but you can see the deer kind of rip these out. I can't even really get into the soil to replant this. So I don't know, I'm gonna find some place that the soil is loose enough that I can actually replant this one garlic clove that has been ripped out of the soil altogether. Give you a little closer look over here of the endive. This is the curly endive. Some people call it frisee. And I guess I planted them too close because here's a chicory that's kind of growing through the endive right here. And here's yet another chicory heart. So you can harvest the leaves. You don't have to wait till the heart is full. I mean, that's just more of a restaurant or a meal type thing. Yeah, so that's about wraps it up. And here is some really sad looking kohlrabi. However, the leaves on these guys, these leaves, perfectly fine. Taste just like cabbage or any other kind of kale, broccoli, cauliflower leaves, whatever. Cook them up, they're absolutely fantastic. So here's just a little quick update what's still growing here in zone 7A, middle of December. Hopefully your Christmas or whatever season you celebrate coming up very soon is a good one, and I'll see you here hopefully back after the first of the new year with some new updated garden content. So see you guys then. Bye-bye.